On this episode, I'm going to be showing you 3 different ways on how you can fish wire through your walls. So stay tuned. Welcome to Fix This House. If you're new to the channel, please consider pressing the subscribe and notification bell so you could always be in tune on DIYs, how-to videos, and product reviews that I do within this channel. So friends, we did reach over 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This means so much to me. I'm still very speechless right now. Thank you for all the love and support. Make sure that you stay tuned throughout this whole video because like what I promised, I am going to be doing a giveaway. So make sure that you stay tuned and find out later on what that giveaway is. So just a quick disclaimer, we are going to be working with electrical components today. My electrical codes and your electrical codes might be different, so always make sure that you're always current with your current local electrical codes. Make sure you have the proper permits, and make sure you always turn off the power from your circuit breaker whenever you're working with electricity. And if you're unconfident and unsure about working with electrical, please contact a certified and qualified electrician. With that being said, my full disclaimer is in the description down below. Let's get into today's episode. So let's just say that you have an electrical box right here with a receptacle and you want to add another receptacle along somewhere your wall, whether it's this close or all the way to the other end of the wall. And on this video, I'm just going to be showing you 3 methods on how easily you can do that. I'm not going to be going over anything that will penetrate up to the attic or to your crawl space or anything from your basement. If you want to learn more about that, I will be making a video on that soon. That being said, let's get to it. Here are all the tools that I'll be using in today's video. I'll be using an endoscope for checking inside the walls, but every tool that I use onto this video, I'll leave it in the description down below. I'll leave quick links for them if you want to obtain them and make it easier for yourself. So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to try to find the studs and mark them. I'm going to be using my Franklin stud finder. So I'm just going to be marking each stud with masking tape. So that's one stud. Here's another stud. And we already know that there's stud on each side, so I'm not going to mark that out. So we have a total of 4 studs that we're going to do. Our goal right now is to run electrical cable from that 2 gang J box all the way to this 1 gang J box. I already made a hole up above this J box right here, and that is a 3/4 inch spade bit. And if you need one of this, I'll leave the link on the description down below, but I drilled one through here. I went about 8 inches. As you can see, there is no specific amount that you can go up there. I wouldn't suggest that you drill right on top of the J box itself, because doing that will make the wire go into a very sharp 90, and you don't want to bend your cable that way. As much as possible, you want to leave at least a little bit of slack from each wire going over so that you don't create that pinch on this run of cable. So now that we figured out that we're gonna go from 8 inches above the J box, I'm gonna mark this with masking tape. Now I'm only doing this for instructional purposes only. You do your own markings, but I'm just trying to make it as visual as possible, like so. 2 inches on each side. Okay, so let's see if that's enough, because the stud's gonna be right here and we're gonna have to drill it onto the side right there. That should give us enough access. 6 inches. Okay, so that's one box. The same thing on this one. We are going to be reusing these squares. So this is a very important tip, friends. Before you go cutting through your wall, I highly suggest you use your endoscope. You already know that there's a stud here, but what if there are piping or electrical wires that are running through there that you just don't know? Okay, drill right through it. You kind of get the picture, friends. You know, you can see what's behind right there, the stud. Obviously, it's a clear back right there. There's nothing going on. This is a great tool to have, friends, to always double check what's behind your wall. It has a light, and I'll leave this on the description down below as well. Get yourself one of these. It will help save your life, and obviously it will help you save so much money on repairs in case you accidentally drill through anything there that you don't want to drill onto. Okay, so this is called the endoscope by Depstech. You can use a jab saw or this keyhole saw if you wish. You can use a oscillating tool if you want, but it creates a lot of dust, so I'm just going to do it this way, and I'm going to combine it with the utility knife once I get into this area right here where the studs are. There you got it. There you go. Push that out. And like what you did here, we are gonna reuse this square. When we put this back, you're just gonna put it right straight back, just like that, and we're gonna drill some drywall screws through there, and that should be it and ready to patch. I'm not gonna do patching on this video. I already made a ton of videos on how to patch. Check out this link up in the right here if you want to learn the 6 ways on how to patch a hole using different joint compounds and whatnot. Today we're just gonna go strictly over on drilling through the studs and routing these wires. And that one's out. Now you have this very long spade bit extension that's going up to 28 inches. All right, so the longer the better, because it'll help you maneuver to get to that middle spot. And if you attack it from one side to the next, you can maneuver the spade bit right there to the middle. Notice how it hits the middle right there, and you can just drill accordingly, just like that. There's already a hole there, so I'm not gonna go drill, but you kind of get the picture on how it's working. The longer the better. And then you're gonna go and attack the other hole. Given there's another hole right there, see how you can just easily just hit that right there onto the middle of that stud. See right there, and it's just drilling onto that other stud as well, and it hits perfectly in the middle, and it won't go off to the side. Given it might angle a little bit, but not so drastic if you're using a short bit. So you can just go hand in hand. So depending on how big your hands are, you might have to cut out a bigger square for you. But with that being said, you can just feed this right through and, you know, reach from each wire to wire hand in hand and just feed it across just like so. Now, if you want to go try to feed this now to the J-box, you will need to use the fish tape. It's really hard, especially these J-boxes have these tiny inserts from them where the cable has to go through. So my suggestion is, if you can take this out, it'll be a lot better and a lot easier. Maybe you can even reach there and grab the wire from there. Now you take this out, you can notice that this is the old work adjustable types because it has those screws, which is nice and convenient for, you can place it on the stud. It's nice and secure. But if you have one of these new works in there that are in there, you might have to use that hacksaw to cut it off, and you will have to use this in replacement to make it easier for yourself. I don't suggest using this type of J-box with the flaps right there. This is only good for switches in my honest opinion, because if you use this for receptacles and you try to take it out over time, it's going to get loose, and it's just not too, you know, it's not as secure as if you were supposed to secure it on the stud to begin with. This is just gonna go and sandwich between the drywall. Just my opinion on that one. Pull that wire out from there. Okay. And then you can feed it through your J-box and you can insert this through just like that. That, my friend, is the first method. Okay, so it runs there, boom, boom, boom. And then we're gonna go and put back the squares as shown right here. Put the drywall screws, boom, boom, drywall screws, boom, boom. And then you're gonna go and tape it up using this method right here. And again, check out this video right here. Now it shows you how to patch and repair drywall. Made a ton of video on that. That's just one great example. Check that video out right there. Method number 2 is a lot more easier to get to the studs, but there's gonna be a lot more patchwork that you will need to do with the drywall. I'm gonna go and cut out the drywall all the way across. Instead of cutting little pieces at a time or little pieces spot piece, you're just gonna cut a whole strip of drywall from end to end. Once that's done, you're gonna pull that whole piece out, and then you can easily gain access to all the studs without this interference right here, because it's just one whole full strip. Obviously, if you have that right there, it's a lot easier to access each one of these studs because you don't have this in the way, and it's just one full strip. Same concept. Right when you get that, you're gonna place that back and then mark it and drill it onto each stud. All right, so now let's get into method number 3. This is a 5-inch hole saw. You can use a 6-inch. I suggest that you use something that's the size where you can fit your hand right through. Just a hole. Use your endoscope so you can see what's behind there before you start drilling anything. So this actually is a lot easier if there was a drill bit. It did come with a drill bit, I just couldn't find it. So we're gonna go with the next bigger size, which is the 6-inch, and that's what the drill bit looks like. I'll leave this in the description down below as well. Normally you have the tendency to just go through the middle right there and start going in a clockwise and start drilling right away. My tip is put your drill in reverse and go on a reverse rotation first and have an indentation around this thing. So the purpose of that is so that if you go onto this clockwise direction, the teeth blade is gonna start cutting and it's gonna go, you might have a chance of it slipping and go running across your board or your drywall. And you don't want that, you don't wanna risk that. So by going in reverse, you're gonna have a nice steady starting point to prevent that slippage. Okay, so notice how you went in reverse. Now you're gonna go onto the regular way, which is clockwise. Okay. There you go. So now you drilled the hole. And make sure you leave this cut out because this is what you're gonna use to patch that hole up once you're done. Okay, so that might be way too big of a hole for me. 5 inches was perfect, but I didn't have that tool like what I mentioned. Now you have all this working space and this cap right here. So what's great about having 2 holes on each side of the stud is now you can go and see what's behind there. My camera's big enough to go through. Another trick is you can use your smartphone if it has a camera, and then you can go and see now what's behind there. So turn on the camera and then you can see through there with the light, and you can even take pictures, a video. Same concept, you're gonna use your long spade bit. Let's pretend this is 3/4, not 1 inch, and then you're gonna drill once again through there. So it's gonna go and hit that hole. You're gonna start drilling, boom, boom. It should come out and you'll be able to see it on this side. What's great about this is you have your hands can easily access all that's the stud area. You can pull the wire and feed it through like so, and then feed it through right here. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions or whatsoever, leave it in the comment section down below. And I'm not gonna go through, I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown on how to patch this. Again, I made a lot of videos on how to patch drywall. Check out that video right here. But what you're gonna do, just to make it fast, get a piece of wood. This is a shim, don't use a shim, this is just for an example, but you kind of get it. You're just gonna go like here, put screws right there, and now you have a nice backing to place this against there to patch it once you insert the drywall screw there. So the same thing will go here, place a piece of wood, and that should be it. So friends, hopefully you found that helpful. Again, this is just for drilling onto vertical studs. I'm not gonna do the horizontal yet. Let's say if you're going up on the attic or down your basement or crawl space and you wanna feed a wire through there, that's a different video, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. So if you made it to the very end of this video, thank you so much, friends. Like what I promised, I am doing a giveaway for reaching 100,000 subscribers, which is we are way past that right now. And I'm giving away $1,000. In order to do that, in order to win a part of that $1,000, make sure that you comment down below, because I'll be picking out 4 people from the comments below, whoever comments. And hopefully, I know $1,000 isn't much, divided by 4, that's $250 each. Hopefully that will I'll be able to buy you lunch and little supplies for your home renovations. Just a piece of a token of my appreciation for helping support the channel. Make sure that you continue to support the channel, friends, because I want to give away more giveaways like this to whenever we reach a milestone or whatnot. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought of this video. Also, for the 4 winners that I pick out, I'm going to be posting those 4 winners on my community page. So make sure that you check out the community page on my YouTube channel so that you'll be in touch with everyone who is winning the giveaways. All right, friends, so thanks so much. If you found value to this video, please hit that big thumbs up, press the subscribe and notification bell, and I'll see you, friends, on the next DIY. Thank you so much. You guys have a good day.